the Donovan Mitchell has been a big deal looming for the Knicks for the last 2 seasons, and why the Knicks didn't make that trade. It's a superstar, this, that, and the third. But he's a small guard, in my opinion, like you to the point you were making about Isaiah
He's not
Thomas.
he's
And
not leading a team to a championship either.
right, I understand that. But now it's being reported that the Knicks are totally canceling out their Donovan Mitchell pursuit.
I'm hearing the Nets' dream
Good.
in this scenario is they think they're going to get Donovan Mitchell. Because, Alan Hahn was on with us a week ago. He said Donovan Mitchell really doesn't fit on the Knicks team anymore.
Right.
So if they get Donovan Mitchell and pair him up with Mikal Bridges, they become a different team. So that's probably what they're betting on, that they're going to get a big player too.
So that was Michael Kay on the Michael Kay show in New York. He's a big time legend. He does the play-by-play for the Yankees. I've never been a big fan of him as a play-by-play guy, but as a radio guy, he's always been amazing, authentic. Gives a great opinions, and he stands his ground. But he reported that Alan Hahn, he spoke to Alan Hahn from MSG in the Knicks, and that the Knicks, they don't make sense for Donovan Mitchell anymore because he doesn't fit the team anymore. I never thought he fit the team as soon as they got Brunson. Don, what do you think about the Knicks just giving up the pursuit on Donovan Mitchell? It sounds like officially, and if the Nets do try to go after him and pair him with Mikal Bridges.
I think that it's a good decision not to get Donovan because you don't want two score first ball stoppers or ball dominators in the backcourt. Like, it's just, you have your Jalen Brunson. I'm not gonna lie, like, he and Donovan Mitchell, it should be a debate at this point. Like, because if you look at the last two postseasons, Brunson has played Mitchell 2 years in a row, and he outplayed him both series. So, like, yeah, Donovan had a better career leading up to that point, but right now it's very arguable, and they're both doing excellent things for their teams. I think Donovan Mitchell is getting really left out of the fold. Like, the way he's playing right now for Cleveland is amazing. People are not talking about it because they're the Cavs. But I think this is a good debate. So I think, to me, you missed out on Donovan, but you got Brunson without having a trade. So I think that part actually worked out. I think you got that guy. But I think you would have had the same conversation with Mitchell. Like, I think Becky Hammond and all those people like me that have doubts about score first small guards winning chips would have said the same thing about Donovan, that you won't be able to win the championship with him as number one. So I think the same conversation would have been had. As you said, I like Bridges. I think if you can get him across the bridge or whatever, that would be a good move. Is it a ring? I don't know, but it gets you close. It gets you to that.
No, hold on. The Nets rumored. Yeah. The Nets, forget about that, because the Nets are rumored to not include Bridges in any trade, and they want to get Donovan Mitchell to pair him up with Bridges on the Nets. What do you think about the Nets getting Mitchell?
That'd be good. That'd be good for sure. Again, like, I really don't know though about Donovan Mitchell winning a chip like as the best player. I feel like he wants to be the number one guy, and like, I think that has a ceiling. I'm sorry. Like, they put wings on him. He struggles to get good shots, and he starts every move behind the 3-point line in the playoffs. Like, he just starts every move behind there. So, like, if they pressure him, he'll just try to drive all the way. There's very few moments where he stops and pops for whatever reason in the playoffs. And he's a smaller guard that starts all his moves behind the 3-point line. Like, that's this stuff that all these guys that start their moves behind the 3-point line, like, every time they ISO, where the whole defense can stare at them. I just don't think that shit is great championship basketball. Like, if you look at the last couple of teams that win, Denver Nuggets, not all their stuff is behind the 3-point line. They have a real post-up threat, an inside-outside game. The Bucks, they weren't even a good 3-point shooting team. Giannis just barreling his way through the paint. And the Warriors are all motion. You know what I'm saying? It's not Steph. That's the whole reason why Steph Curry doesn't do that. So, yeah, man, I don't like it. I think there's a ceiling to it. That's just my adamant take. It's like one of my basketball convictions. I'm not even anti-small guard. I'm a small guard myself. But I can speak from experience. I didn't like being the number one scorer, like on any level. Like, I like being the number two at most because, yeah, of course, it's hard for me to compare myself to any of these guys, but it's all relative. Like, I like being the facilitator that's a secondary scorer. If I'm the guy that's relied on to score a lot, it was just a little hard for me as a smaller guard. These guys are obviously exceptional, but it's still, we're talking chip here. And I think there's a huge difference. Like, that's the one thing I've learned from 19 years of fandom and studying the game It's so hard to win a chip. Like, you really need so many things to go your way, and you really have to have the talent to do it. I just don't think the Knicks have the talent to do it. But I think you guys can get to the conference finals.
I think this is not creating another rivalry potentially, whether Donovan Mitchell's with Cleveland or he goes to the Nets. Excuse me. And that's amazing. We need that. Steel sharpens steel. If he feels left out, good riddance, bro. We got our guy that we want to go to war with against you. Now we got Halliburton over there. We're going to. There's something there in the history of, with modern day NBA history, Eastern Conference, New York Knicks involved against the Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers, two Midwest teams at this time. If Donovan Mitchell goes to the Nets, forget about it. Now you have a real legit. Jason Kidd was over there 20 years ago, and he was talking mad smack to us, and he used to spank us around. Now, for the first time ever, we're gonna have a real rivalry with the Nets if he goes over there. I never wanted Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks. Once we signed Jalen Brunson, it made no sense to me. It just he has to work too hard to get his points. It's beyond ball dominant. It's if you traded RJ Barrett and this opened up for you, this is a sign of why I didn't want him. Right? That's number one. Number two, your point was amazing. He starts a bunch of his moves behind the 3-point line. Already, I get you want some space, but you don't do what Brunson does. I don't think he's as smart of a player as Jalen Brunson.
I agree.
Especially, or as skilled as Jalen Brunson. Like in the post, Jalen Brunson's better than him.
Jalen Brunson is one of the best post-up guards I've seen in my time watching basketball. I'm not saying much because there's very few of them, but he is. He's good.
Kyrie's up there. Like I think there's a lot.
Andre Miller was good.
Kyrie's not looked at in this conversation with Jalen Brunson for some reason, and clearly he's better handle and he's going to be known as a better player but as far as who's a better point guard it's going to be Brunson, especially at this age. Kyrie again is playing amazing this season, and he's shooting more mid-range jump shots, but he missed 20 games as well. Brunson hasn't missed 20 games. Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he has I think he's an Iron Man kind of guy, but that's what I see there. Like, Mitchell officially gone pursued as a New York Knick. Great. Go to the Nets. I want that rivalry. I wanted the fact that we didn't get KD and Kyrie. I was more upset with the fact that we couldn't get other guys to compete. I wanted to compete against them, and we were getting there, but we didn't have that other guy. I wish we would have had Brunson there with Randall and had this team 2-3 years ago competing against Kyrie and KD. Bring Donovan Mitchell to Brooklyn. I want the smoke. This is what makes basketball. Get these people mad, get upset with each other. So I look forward to Donovan Mitchell feeling snubbed by the New York Knicks, and it's going to be war. I love it in the Eastern Conference.